Welcome, basketball fans, inside the whimsical walls of the East Link Center, here for this Security Sunday, featuring the Charlottetown Power and the visiting Valley Vipers. We call it Security Sunday because there's a second place opportunity on the line, but we'll get to that in just a second. For now, bringing you the sounds of the game, I'm Grant Harrison, and I'm joined up here by my dear good friend, Taylor Stewart. Taylor, how are we feeling on this beautiful Maritime Sunday?
Yeah, we're feeling good out here. The Power looking for a huge bounce-back win today. They have the Valley Vipers coming into town, a team with only one game under their belt. So it's looking like the Power's game to lose. They'll be looking for, as I said, a big bounce-back victory today. And if they can execute, they'll improve to 3-2 on the year.
You're right there. We really don't know the Valley Vipers. Like we said, they've only had one game. They faced the Churro Tide, of which they lost 124 to Churro to 94 for the Vipers. So with an opportunity here to really make a statement, this is sort of a rescheduled game of sorts because Charlottetown was supposed to face Valley for their inaugural ECBL game. I believe it would have been the first game, but Valley Vipers, their home arena, they were ripping out the ice surface, so they weren't able to play that game, and it was rescheduled. We'll play that game at the Valley later on here in the year, but this is that rematch, but at the home arena of the Power. So how do you think they'll adjust being on the road to start two games of their year?
You know, it's never easy for any team when they have to go through something like this. Not being able to play in your home arena, not being able to get a taste of that home cooking yet, that's going to impact them a lot going forward right now. But you also have to understand that after losing their first game like that and not having their home court, being on the road, they're a team with nothing to lose and everything to prove right now. So that's going to speak a lot to their mentality, especially going into today's game. Your first game's against the number 1 seed in the league. Your second game's against the Power, who could potentially be the number 2 seed in the league. So you're either making a big statement today with a win. You're the underdogs, no question, if you're in the Viper shoes. But like I said, with nothing to lose, they're going to put everything they have into this game, and the Power just need to maintain a strong mindset and a strong game to keep the Vipers at ease and come away with the win, end up being the 2 seed.
We had a long weekend indeed. We had Fun Friday. We had Second Chance Saturday. And now we have Security Sunday. We call it Security Sunday, of course, because in this third and final game of this weekend, the Power have an opportunity to bump up to 3 wins and gain sole possession of second place and secure that silver medal. Do you think they can do it here today, Taylor?
Like I said, I think the Power, this is their game to lose. You're looking at how they played yesterday, and against the Tide, a very tough team. They only lost by 7 points, and at points it was a very back-and-forth game. So you have guys like Myers, guys like Hinton that are going to step up in big moments who have not let this team down yet. For me, it's a question of how guys like Alec Berryman are going to play. He was clutch from beyond the arc with a few shots, but he didn't get the ball as much as he probably would have liked. You have guys who are stepping in like DeKel Brooks, Jack McCauley filling in for Mike Anderson once again today. And Jack McCauley from beyond the arc yesterday was 4 for 9. So I'm liking him a lot so far. If he gets the right look, he can hit that deep ball for you. But my big question mark today is Adam Stanford. He's been cold the last 2 games, went down hard yesterday, but he's back in the lineup today. So to me, this game is going to be decided on how he performs. If he's back to his old self, he's hot and he's ready to shoot the ball, or if he's going to be struggling like he has a bit the past 2 games.
I was talking to the team trainer before the game, and he classified Adam Stanford's injury not as a sprained ankle, but as a more severe rolled ankle. But he, like we said, he is playing today, so very interesting to see there. Otherwise, on the injury report, we've got Mike Anderson. He was out, upgraded to questionable/doubtful, and now downgraded to out with that lower back, that bone bruise. He said it was a real deep bone bruise on his upper hip, lower back there, so shame that he won't be in the lineup today, but at least he'll get that rest and see what his younger teammates can do. Talking about his younger teammates, though, let's talk about KV Myrick's and Zachary Hinton, 2 more veteran presence players, but still have that age on Mike Anderson there, the Axeman. Zach Hinton, he dropped 29 points last night, went 3 for 3 from beyond the perimeter, and hit those long ball 3-pointers that came in clutch. Like we said, 29 points for him. And KV Myrick's 24 points last night. 2 standout performances there. And DeKel Brooks as well. I mean, he was a really good player at UPEI for the Panthers. Don't get me wrong. And we were somewhat uneasy to see him play at the professional level. But he came out last night and 14 points, if I have that right. Yeah, 14 points last night. Absolutely incredible performance against an opponent like the Tide. So see what he can do here today and see if Stanford can hit that hot streak this weekend that we've been hoping for.
Yeah, Stanford started out great. And like we said, he just didn't quite – I don't think he's impressed himself with the starts he's been getting lately. Only delivering, 12 points yesterday. So he's definitely going to be looking to get off to a bit more of a hot start. It's his hot start that he's been lacking. And when you get that hot start, it really is what gives you the confidence to keep going throughout the game. But then you look at his teammates, too. Like we talked about Myrick's. Myrick's had 4 3-pointers yesterday to go with his 24 points, 8 assists, and 1 steal. So not only was he making clutch baskets for the Power, but he was dishing it out to everybody. He was the guy. He was the setup man. He was controlling the game for the Power, and the game was going pretty well for them. And then you look at their big man, Zach Hinton, as you said, 29 points, and he was 3 for 3 from beyond the arc. You don't usually see a big man draining threes, let alone 100% of his shots from beyond the arc. And 4 steals as well for the big man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And defensive rebounds, offensive rebounds were a bit lacking last night for the Power, and that really did hurt him, as we saw. Yeah. But defensive rebounds, Troy Tremblay and Adam Stanford teamed up for 5 boards in the defensive zone there. So see what they can do today on defense, and if they put up 100 on Valley, I'm saying a secured win. I'll knock on wood right now, folks. Don't call me a homer, but, I mean, hard not to.
No,
gotta love the Power.
Yeah, you gotta love the Power. But as you said there with the rebounding, offensive rebounding is the key to today's game for the Power. Yesterday, their loss to the Tide, I think, was because of their lackluster job cleaning the glass. The defensive rebound just wasn't there. The Tide were getting into the paint. The Tide were getting past them. There was no bodies in there to get rid of. You had 1 Power to 3 Tide usually was the ratio. And sometimes the ball was up 2 times, 3 times, 4 times before someone was able to bring it down. So today, the Power's key to victory not only is to get their starters, their main guys getting ready and going hot right out of the gate, but it's going to be cleaning that glass. You got to get in there and you got to claim the ball off your own backboard. Like,
exactly.
Don't be letting the Vipers get in there like the Tide did.
We're about 2 minutes and 30 seconds away from tip-off here, and let's talk about head coach for the Valley Vipers, Eric Perry, with a P there. I'm a Kansas City man, born and raised. I'm used to Eric Berry for the Chiefs, an old DB that we had. Don't want to say old, but former DB that we had, and he had equinophobia. He was afraid of horses, Eric Berry was. But Eric Perry for the Valley Vipers, he has no fears at all. Los Angeles, born and raised. This is his first time in the Maritimes of Canada, and he told me before the game he is so excited to see what Eastern Canadian basketball has to offer, and I think he'll get a good showing here today. Yeah,
we have not been disappointed, I will say, so far in the 3 games I've been a part of here. Basketball is alive and well back in Charlottetown. The crowd is slowly building up. People in PEI are liking having basketball back on the island. I'm pretty sure the Power would be pretty excited with the crowd that they're getting. And honestly, it's been great basketball. I can't say I've been disappointed. The talent that the ECBL has brought down here is next level. Like, it's something that the Maritimes have not seen probably ever. Like, it's definitely, if you were a Storm fan, you would enjoy Power basketball. And I got to say, you got to come down here. You got to check it out. You would not be disappointed by the talent that the ECBL has not only put together, but put in front of you guys.
So quickly here, we got a minute left before we leave you to the sounds of the game and the national anthem and the starting 5. I don't see Cowboy Mike yet in the building, but no promises yet. Let's go with the Mount Rushmore of names. If you're not familiar, Mount Rushmore is a top 4. We've both compiled a list here of basketball names here on this roster of list. Taylor, let's start off with your number 1. Who's your number 1 on your Mount Rushmore of basketball names?
Number 1 for Mount Rushmore in this game is coming out of the Viper bench. I'm going with Anthony Otley Jr.
Anthony Otley. I like it. For me, it's from the Power. Alec Berryman. What a basketball name. That just screams Mr. Assist. What about number 2?
Number 2, once again off the Viper bench, I'm going here with Jabril Power.
I mean, enough said.
Enough said
there.
The Power man himself.
For my pick, my second pick, KV Myrick's. I mean, another classic basketball name. What about you, Taylor?
Number 3, I'm going with Frank Aljamain.
Yeah, Frank Aljamain there.
From the Vipers.
Yeah, for my third pick, Trey McCoo. Trey McCoo right there.
Yeah.
What about you?
Finally, to round me off, I'm going with my lone Power pick, Troy Tremblay.
And to round me off, it's assistant coach a sleeper pick, Mark Clark. As you can tell by the lights headed down here and the sounds of the game beginning, we'll leave you to them. Oh, Canada coming your way, the starting five, and tip-off coming your way just here shortly. I'm Grant Harrison, that's Taylor Stewart, and we'll see you at tip-off.
Hour. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd ask you to please stand and the players to line up at their respective foul lines and join James Ronahan in the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. Car ton bras se porte les pays, il se porte la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the starting lineup for your visiting Valley Vipers. From Brampton, Ontario at 6'7", center, number 43, Frank Ajame. From Inland Empire, California, 6'4", guard, number 6, Trey Brewer. From Minneapolis, Minnesota, a 6-foot point guard, number 8, Jobriel Powell. From Austin, Texas, a 6'4" guard, number 12, Trey McCoo. And from West Orange, New Jersey, a 6'4" forward, number 15, Damon Garrett. The head coach of the Valley Vipers, Eric Perry. The assistant coach, Mark Clark and Brandon McGinnis. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the starting lineup for your Charlottetown Power. From Los Angeles, California, a 6'6" forward, number 42, Zach Hinton. From Gary, Indiana, a 6-foot guard, number 1, K.V. Myrick. From East Preston, Nova Scotia, a 6'3" guard, number 22, DeCal Brooks. From Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island, a 6'2" guard, number 40, Jack McHawley. And from Toronto, Ontario, a 6'1" guard, number 29, Jordan Holness. Ladies and gentlemen, the head coach of the Charlottetown Power is Lonnie States. Assistant coach Kathy Quinn. The team manager is William Muirhead. And the physiotherapist, Sports Center Physiotherapy. Ladies and gentlemen, your referees for this afternoon's game, Paul Hansen, Paul DeBailey, and Stephen Clough. We'd also like to welcome the Morel Wildcats. They are our minor basketball team of the day. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Power Basketball. basketball.
As you heard just then, folks, it is time for Power Basketball. Tip-off coming your way. Power wearing white and the Valley Vipers in red. Frank Ajamang facing off against Zach Hinton for the Power. Let's see who takes it. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last to tip it was a Valley Viper. So Jack McCauley and the Power will get a free start here. After 3 seconds are waned from the clock, KV Myricks making his way up the court, takes the left-hand side with a pick and roll from Holness. Goes over to McCauley and Brooks around the perimeter, making his way in, trying to find a lane pass Ajamang, and goes to McCauley. Now Holness finds Hinton going up. Basket no good off that back iron, and Valley take the run up the court. Jabril Power working his way past Holness as he finds a corner three opportunity. Back iron, no good. Holness on the rebound. Jordan Holness making his way up the court for the Power. Goes to Kel Brooks. Brooks to Jack McCauley for three. Shot good. The Magic Man McCauley coming in clutch there to open the floodgates for the Power. Trey Brewer looking to work past somebody as he goes to Frank Ajamang. To the corner and in. Damon Garrett gets 2 free shots from the line.
That's a big start there for the Power. Jack McCauley seems to be laboring a little bit, but, I mean, didn't stop him from making that first three of the game. A huge three-pointer to start this one off. McCauley, as we were talking about earlier, 4 for 9 from beyond the arc yesterday. He keeps that hot hand going today.
Garrett's first shot, a clunk off the iron. That sound every basketball player hates to hear, and especially when you still got a goose egg on the board. And now a 0 turns into a 1. And speaking of 1, our very own number 1, KV Myricks taking it up the court, going to Brooks. Now Holness with a pick and roll inside the paint. See what Myricks can do. Can't find it as he's a boy amongst men inside that paint there. We get a scramble out of bounds, but Valley maintained possession.
That was a big block there by Viper forward number 43, Frank Ajamang.
McCoo on the inbound, goes over to Power. We'll just call him Jabril for the rest of the day to avoid confusion with that last name. Ajamang round the perimeter, teams up with Jabril, going up for a mid-range jumper, no good after 6 ticks off the shot clock there. Brooks up the court for the Power, goes to Jack McCauley for another 3. That one long, but he'll get an opportunity here as he goes to Myricks. See if he can tally the assist, and no, Hinton now for the Power. Mid-range, and Myricks and Brooks had a bit of a miscommunication there. Brooks comes up with the ball and drains the bucket. McCoo making his way. See what Brewer can do for the Vipers. Guarded by Brooks, that shot falls short. And off the heel of Ajamang, ball goes out, and Power get the possession. Brooks now for Charlottetown. Goes to Myricks. Now Hinton on the perimeter. Zach Hinton moving inside off the glass for 2.
Zach Hinton showing off his inside the paint skills already early on in this game. Great little move there to get the 2-pointer to fall, and he's on the board now today early on.
An early 6-point lead for the Power as the Vipers look to do something here. Garrett around the perimeter, guarded by Brooks, and a pass back to Jabril. Jabril inside, looking for the high arc to his help. And the Power get the rebound, and KV goes up for 1, but finds 2 from the line.
Huge defensive play there for Zach Hinton, not allowing the Vipers to get off a clean shot attempt, and now the Power will get to shoot 2 as KV Myricks heads to the line.
KV Myricks yesterday went 2 for 2 on the free throw. See what he can do here today. Myrick's makes his first shot there, and he's actually today's featured player on the in-house program here. We talked earlier in the season about his ministry. He actually studies ministry, and he led his first service at the age of 13.
Wow.
Yeah. Vipers with the ball here. Stripped away by Holness. And a kicked ball there. I didn't see who put a foot on it, but the Vipers maintain control here.
It's cool. You learn something new about one of these players every day. Jack McCauley is a substitute teacher, and KB Marks is a priest.
Exactly. You come out here, you check out the program, you learn something new, and you get some great basketball coming your way as this three-pointer attempt by Garrett, no good. Rebound by the Power. McCauley with a long pass to Brooks. Brooks looking for some movement here on the fadeaway. Shot falls to the right and no good.
Big effort put in there by Jack McCauley as he jumps out of bounds, bounces the ball off a Valley Viper defender, and the Power will get the ball back here in the offensive zone.
That move becoming a bit more common in today's basketball game, and it's a smart one. Not sure why it wasn't implemented earlier. Look at this pass from Brooks to Hinton. He does end up with it after a couple fakes and in. As that ball rolled in between his legs for what felt like an eternity. Hinton comes up with a two-pointer. This three-pointer attempt no good by the Vipers. Kept alive by Hinton, and Brooks pulls this one in.
That was one of the things we said needed to happen in the pregame.
Look at McCauley here. Shot falls right, no good. Holness on the rebound. Goes up for two and hits it.
Beautiful fadeaway there by Jordan Holness to make it another two-pointer and make it 13-1 for the Power as the Valley Vipers will take a timeout here to try and settle things down and not let this game get out of hand.
Vipers take that timeout, and when they come back from it, they'll substitute Alex Muse. We'll see who the substitution is for. And as you mentioned there, as we mentioned before we got going, we see on the Power sideline tough loss tonight. Mike Anderson out with that lower back injury. I saw him before the game. He had that heating pad wrapped around his back there. He was clearly in pain. And a long weekend. Unsure and almost guaranteed that you're going to get some injuries, but unsure of where they come from. Hey, Taylor.
Yeah, when you go back to back to back in any weekend, in any sport really, it just ramps up the level of chance for injury to occur. Mike Anderson, obviously not one guy you'd like to be without today, but honestly, in his absence, Jack McCauley has stepped up big. DeKal Brooks is playing nice too. Two guys who were getting bench minutes now getting to split the starting role, and they haven't really let Coach Lonnie States down yet so far. I think they've both impressed. And behind the performances of veterans like Zach Hinton and KV Marks over the past couple of games too, they're filling in nicely in the absence of Mike Anderson. You got the two rookies, and you got a little experience in Hinton and Myers to lead them there. I'm really impressed with how this lineup has worked around that injury.
Only out by Mike Anderson. Have yet to see Stanford check into the game. I can almost guarantee you they'll be apprehensive to play the security guard Stanford today.
Yeah, you're not going to want to aggravate his ankle from yesterday any more than it already is, because he's one of the most important guys on your roster, so you're going to want to let him rest and play the minutes he's comfortable with today.
Valley working the ball around the perimeter. See what Muse can do past McCauley. He goes up to Ajamang. And a deep two-pointer there, in and out, no good. As Hinton, he's there on the rebound, goes to Myrick's. Now McCauley back to KV Myrick's. Inside, Euro stepping. Can't find the two-pointer the hard way. Let's see if he can do it the not-so-easy way.
That was one of those plays by KV Myrick's where it looked like it was foul or nothing. The way he kind of went up there trying to get the ball to the net, he was definitely trying to look like he was in shooting formation, but that was definitely one of those plays where he was trying to draw the foul more than he was trying to make that basket.
See what he can do from the line here, as he has, to say the least, a lengthy warm-up routine for his shot. That one a clunk off the iron. Not a sound you want to hear, but when you're up 12, you can risk hearing it. And there it is again. Hinton on the rebound, though. And ball stripped away by Ajamang. Ajamang inside. And a jump ball with Myrick's there. That ball will go the Power way as they have possession. And Adam Stanford checking into the game here for Jordan Holness for the Power.
There's a great rebound there by Zach Hinton on the offensive glass. Just when you got 3 Valley Vipers around you, trying to dribble around that can be hard, and it showed as he lost the ball, and the Vipers have it now.
Number 32 for the Vipers, Donnie Moss, seeing the court here. As Muse has the ball, goes to Moss. Moss around the arc, back to Muse. See what Brewer can do. Guarded pass, Stanford. And that miscommunicated pass falling out of bounds and going to the Power. Brooks will inbound this one for Charlottetown. Myrick's here. Around the arc, ball stripped away now by the Valley again. As we'll see Alec Berryman check into the game for DeKel Brooks. 6 minutes 50 left to go here in this opening quarter. And the Valley Vipers have only tallied 1 free throw. Stanford with the ball, moving in past Brewer. And he will travel.
Not too impressed with that call. Hard call to take 2 just after checking in for Stanford. As we talked, he's been a bit cold these last 2 games. He's trying to get going here early and get back into his groove, and a travel call like that right off the bat isn't going to help at all.
Myrick's playing a heavy press here against Jabril. As Jabril looks to do something, and Hinton teams up with Myrick's. And Hinton, big block. He does foul, but Jabril Power hits a big block, and Hinton goes down hard.
Jabril looking like LeBron James there with that chase down block. That was monstrous.
It looked clean on the way up, but he did hit the wrist of Hinton instead of the ball. And Zach Hinton up and okay, moving around there. Doesn't need the substitute as he'll hit some free throws here.
You see nice too, Jabril checking up on him, making sure he's okay.
Yeah, early in this game, with the way it's going, you don't want to lead to some friction, really.
Yeah.
Early on, and to avoid that there, a classy move by Jabril Power.
Hitting good for both there. It'd be 15-1 now for the Power as the Vipers look to try and stake some claim in this game before it's all over already. 15-1. A miss there by Jabril. Power gonna take it up the other way now. And Stanford is on the board. 17-1. Stanford gets cooking. 2 points early in this game.
Valley with it here. Guarded by Hinton, shot up and off the glass and no good. Berryman tries to gain some possession and he can't, but that ball bucketed by Ajamang. Of course, we're unsure if Jabril, it's Power or Powell. I have 2 different rosters here that say different information, so we'll again just stick with Jabril as McCauley goes up for a 3 off the front iron and no good. Hinton on the rebound, finds it. McCauley keeps it alive, back to Hinton. Look at this athleticism on display here in the Eastlink Center. Berryman catches the long pass and a big block there by the Valley. Hinton over to Stanford. Oh, look, he's flying! And gills the dunk there.
With the one-handed jam there, Stanford starting to look a bit more comfortable in this game, getting to show off a bit of his athleticism there. And the Power, 19-3 now, continuing to show how they are controlling this game.
Ajamang passes the ball over, guarded by Berryman. And we'll get 2 free shots here for Trey Brewer of the Valley Vipers.
We're almost 8 minutes into this game now, Grant, and the Vipers already have only made 1 basket. 1 free throw and 1 2-point basket.
Well, see what Brewer can do here. See if he can get it to 5 and diminish the lead to 14 points by the Power. But a tough start for the Valley. They did tally 94 points against the Tide. as that first free throw by Brewer is bucketed. See if the Valley are a team of slow starts. Missed that basket there. Stanford on the rebound, and Rempel has it here. Goes over to Adam Stanford. And Flash looking to do something. Blink and you'll miss it. Toying there along the arc, can't find it. KV Myrick's with a reaching rebound. Putting up his shot, no good. Berryman here on the press. It's successful, and Stanford puts it in for 2 off the glass.
Stanford cooking already in this game. That's 6 points now for the Powers, man.
Anthony Jr. Otley passes the ball over to Brewer, I believe. Trying to work past Berryman. And now Stanford outside. Otley hits a deep three-pointer there to bring the Valley to 9. Berryman passes the ball over to Rempel. Rempel outside to Hinton. Hinton top of the key, mid-range outside at Stanford. Working his way in the paint. KV Myrick's goes up for 2, finds the foul.
KV Myrick's go to the line, shoot 2 now. We see Logan Rempel in the game now, looking to get doesn't get many minutes a game, but when he does, he's looking to prove himself and show off that he can hit that deep 3 ball as well.
Logan Rempel kind of embraces the mentality of, I have 6 fouls, I'm going to use them wisely, and hopefully just 5 of them.
Yeah.
Myrick makes his first free throw. That is, go ahead.
Mentioned already, Stanford now with 6 points in the game, already halfway to his total yesterday of 12 points. He's we knew early on in this game he was going to be looking for more than he has been able to provide the last couple of games, and so far today he's looking a bit better and looking a bit more confident on that court.
KV misses that second free throw, and of course not to say Logan Rempel's a dirty player, but a physical nonetheless. And look at that finesse. As a deep 3 ball by the Vipers, drained by Moss. Berryman here for the Power, goes out to Myrick's on the perimeter, no good. Ball recovered by the Vipers, and they're within 12 now of Charlottetown. And Hinton will take this turn to foul on the Vipers and give them 2 free ones from the line.
That second foul is going to lead to Hinton having to exit here just over halfway through the first quarter. As 2 fouls to his name already. Troy Tremblay will come in his place.
That shot made there by Otley.
So we look at the Powers roster right now. KV Myrick, Logan Rempel, Troy Tremblay, Adam Stanford, and number 9, Alec Berryman in there for the Power.
Otley makes that second basket, and the Power will look to avoid fouling Anthony Otley Jr. for the rest of the day as he goes 2 for 2 on that trip to the line. Myrick's to Rempel. A dish pass there, just a bit late and into the chest of a Viper. Working past Myrick's here. See what Muse can do, working inside along the baseline, and another foul. This time on Trey McCoo. Troy Tremblay gets a foul as he just checked into the game.
DeKal Brooks and Jack McCauley back into this game now for the Power. Logan Rempel and Alec Berryman checking out.
3 minutes left in the first here. Valley are slowly climbing back here. There's a lot of basketball left to be played, and McCoo makes his first free throw. Just falls a bit short on his second. And we get a whistle here. So the Power will get the ball here. Up 9 on the Valley. Myrick's here at half court. Has Troy with the screen, so he'll get some room to breathe. And he'll look to go to the baseline and overpass Troy by a couple feet there.
Slow miscommunication there by the Power.
Ball finds its way to the perimeter, And right into the lap of Frank Ajamang.
Another power foul.
On a trip to the basket, the Power seem content with fouling early on here, letting the Valley know it's not going to be easy on their way inside. Makes the first basket there.
So we look at the Vipers roster right now. Donnie Moss, the one shooting the free throws out there with him, is Ryan Gates, number 25, number 12, Trey McCoo, 36, Alex Muiz, and number 16, Anthony Otley Jr.
Alex Muse having a great day today so far. As Myrick's has the ball here. Goes over to Tremblay and back to him. Myrick's to Stanford. And a foul called on. It's going to be Donnie Moss, number 32 there.
Jordan Hoyles check in for the Power. Jack McCauley heading to the bench.
5 fouls for both teams on the board. And Stanford will inbound here. Power spread about. Goes to Troy Tremblay. Back to Stanford. Outside to Myrick's. He'll be fouled by number 12, Trey McCoo there.
That's going to be 3 foul shots now for KV Myrick's. One of the rare times you're going to get to see him shoot for 3.
He did shoot for 3, I believe it was on Friday, and was fouled, so he's been here before, but misses that first shot there.
KV Myrick's performed well yesterday night, 24 points, 4 3-pointers to go along with that, 8 assists and 1 steal. It's been one of the main key points for the Power so far this season, looking to keep improving on his season stats and help his team once again today lead them to the win. 22-15 right now as he shoots his second free throw at the line.
Kind of funny, Trey Brewer and Damon Garrett are checking in here for the Vipers, and they thought Myrick's was only shooting 2, so they went in after that next one. They were called back very quickly as momentarily there were 7 basketball players on the court wearing a red jersey. So it'll take some time to figure out the substitutions. Myrick's get the ball here for his third. That shot no good either. Troy Tremblay trying to keep it alive, steps out of bounds. And Trey Brewer and Damon Garrett finally checking into the game at the right time and the opportune time, I would say. Muse passes the ball over to Brewer. Brewer looks to do something past Troy Tremblay. And the 2 big men inside the paint combine for a Valley 2-pointer. Brooks has the ball here for the Power.
Kyle Brooks 1 for 1 so far from the floor today with a 2-pointer. He's going to be looking to build on those numbers.
Holness, a little quick short bounce pass to Stanford. Stanford really moving around on that tender ankle. See what he can do for the perimeter. Shot no good. Play will be blown dead here. And Troy Tremblay getting a little too physical there inside the key. So with 1:33 left, as we come out of stoppage, it's Valley ball. And Alex Muse has it for the Vipers, passes it over to Brewer. Brewer working his way inside, broken up by Dekel Brooks. Brooks coming up off the court for the Power. He has Holness to his right side. Now Stanford to his right, but he'll take it himself as he goes for 2.
Dekel looking sharp early on in this one. Now 2 for 2 from the floor with a nice fadeaway jumper there. Give him 2 assists as well and a defensive rebound and 1 steal. Young kid at a UPEI cooking early on today.
Near a minute left here in this opening quarter. What a quarter it has been. Looked like the Power were going to run away with it. Now the Valley Vipers just sitting in the back of the mind of everyone here in Charlottetown this evening. That shot by Garrett, no good, but the cleanup, I believe by Otley there, was good.
Nice cleanup by Otley, as you mentioned there, on getting the offensive rebound. Something the Power struggled with yesterday was rebounding, and signs point to it again today as they give up another
Troy
offensive
Tremblay
rebound.
loses the ball here, and a free one for Otley, as he'll just make the extra pass over to Brewer. Look at that unselfish play there by Anthony Jr. and the Vipers. 30 seconds left here in the opening quarter. Myrick's has the ball. Myrick's goes up for a deep three and hits it. Look at the shot, but remember the man who took it.
Myrick's with a beautiful three there, giving his team a little more insurance here as we come to a close in the first quarter. 28-21 right now for the Power.
Muse working it around the perimeter, and a deep pass to Garrett. Shot falls short. And some foul shots coming the Vipers' way.
Have to put some time back up on the clock.
Charlottetown Power foul number 5, Adam Stanford. That'll be his first. Charlottetown over the limit.
As you mentioned, that foul on Stanford coming just at, what, a quarter second left here in the quarter?
It wasn't very long, definitely under 1 second, but he gets to shoot three here at the line. Damon Garrett.
Garrett makes his first shot there. They'll call it at a half second. Makes the second shot as well there. He has one more.
This to make it a 4-point game to close out the first quarter. Quite the bounce back from the Vipers.
What a comeback. What a 20-point comeback. You're there?
It was 17-1 if I remember correctly at one point.
Yeah, 16-point comeback. Well, 12 in all reality. Buzzer beater by Rempel. Shot no good. So it does become a 4-point lead for the Power. And Charlottetown only totaling 12 points since that early run. And as a story as old as time in the game of basketball, and a simple one at that, you don't put the ball in the basket and you kind of ease up on defense, stop those fouls on the inside, let them know they do have an opportunity in the key, and some baskets come the Valley's way. And we've got a basketball game on our hands with 3 quarters left to go. Taylor, what did you see in that opening quarter besides an incredible comeback?
I still like the way the Power played there. It definitely isn't what they wanted to slow down in this way and end up with only a 4-point lead after being up by 16 at one point. What went wrong for the Power there is, once again, the foul troubles they got into and the rebounding. You see that the Vipers were able to clean up the glass probably a little more than they should have been able to there, getting a few more offensive rebounds than they would have, than the Power would have liked to give up. And that's free points that they're giving away there when the Power failed to get those rebounds. And the foul trouble, as you mentioned, Valley had 5 different guys go to the line there in that opening quarter, and that's not something you want to see happen. Everyone almost making all their attempts except for 2 guys. So you're going to want to limit the amount you send them to the free throw line. At most, you're going to want to maybe commit 3 a quarter. You don't want to be sending them to the foul line too much. They had 10 points there in that opening quarter just from the free throw line, 10 of their 24. So that's something you got to limit there, is the foul trouble.
KV Myrick's taking a brunt of the fouls today as he has attempted 9 free throws, made 4 of them. So sitting at just under 50% there as we got about 30 seconds left here in the intermission. We saw some musical chairs being played there, and we all remember playing musical chairs as a kid and that scramble for power, pun intended. But here in this game, that scramble for power coming just purely in the offensive talent. If you can find a way inside with all the fouls we've had today in that opening quarter, and if you can make something happen, I think victory will be secured on this Security Sunday for either team.
Having the lead right now is definitely what the Power want. They'd like it to be a bit bigger based on how they were leading in the first quarter there. But I wouldn't say the Power are disappointed with their play. Definitely want to settle out the foul troubles. Lonnie States was probably emphasizing that during the intermission. But keep on their game plan. They've been making the shots they need to. They've been dishing the rock well. So just keep on their game plan, keep steady, and keep focused.
As we get started with this second quarter of action, I'm Grant Harrison. That's Taylor Stewart. Charlottetown Power wearing white, Valley Vipers in red as DeKel Brooks has the ball here for the Power as he goes up. Shot no good. Valley on the rebound, and they have it around the perimeter. Looking to work past Jack McCauley. They go to the top of the key with Otley. Outside now, shot made by Trey Brewer.
Makes it a 1-point game, 28-27 for the Power.
An opportunity to be in the lead the first time today. As Holness has the ball here, goes to Hinton. Hinton inside. Zachary Hinton makes it for two as it bounces along the rim and in.
Gets that one to roll off his fingertips and down into the bucket. One that Hinton wasn't sure about, but definitely glad he got. 8 points now on the day for Hinton.
Corner three by the Vipers, and they make it there to become tied up with the Charlottetown Power after Garrett drained that three. Brooks here for Charlottetown puts it in for two. Another three ball there by Brewer.
And the Vipers take their first lead of this game, 33-32. What a stretch run this has been for that Viper team.
It's only a 1-point lead, but it is a lead nonetheless, and an important one as Jack McCauley has it here at the top of the key. Goes to Holness, making his way inside. He is fouled there. I believe that foul being called on Ryan Gates of the Vipers. And yes, it is Mr. Gates.
As you said there, Grant, important lead here for the Vipers, just to get that confidence builder after being down 17-1. Easily not the start you're going to want, easily not the start your head coach is going to have seen coming for your team, but now bouncing back to leading this game 33-32. That's going to be a huge confidence booster. They're knocking down a good high percentage of their shots. They are definitely a team with the momentum right now.
Holness on the line here. His first trip to the free throw line today, makes his first shot. Tie game here, 33-all.
Jordan Holden has been seeing some more minutes now lately too, today especially, and yesterday with the absence of Mike Anderson. He's getting a bit more into this game as well.
Yes, Jack McCauley and DeKel Brooks have kind of been stepping into the role of Mike Anderson this weekend, but as you mentioned there, Holness kind of taking on that persona as well. Valley with the ball here, guarded by Rempel. Otley looks to do something and he can't find it. Hinton on the rebound goes to Rempel. Pardon me, that's Holness. Holness back to Hinton. Up top, from down low, McCauley gets the ball in the corner and hits the three.
Jack McCauley with a huge three-pointer there, coming all the way down from Queen Street with that one, Grant.
Gotta love the island references coming from the island native Taylor Stewart there. Stepping on the line on that three-point attempt, though. An unfortunate look for number 32, Donnie Moss.
Power getting a bit lucky there to retain this 4-point lead.
I'm convinced that this court is 1 or 2 square inches smaller than average because it seems like everyone from the visiting teams who steps in here, Brooks three-pointer no good. Hinton on the cleanup no good. Everyone who steps in here just get that hair of a heel out of bounds. Shot there by the Vipers no good. And they do find it on the cleanup from the tip by Otley.
Another offensive rebound given up by the Power, and it's given up maybe 2-3 times that one bounced around before it was finally put back by the Vipers, but a good job on the boards by the Vipers to make it a 2-point game.
Brooks from down under makes the basket for 2 right there.
Just off his fingertips, nice little roll in.
Long ball by Ajamang. Shot no good though. Vipers still in this one much more competitive than the first quarter as Rempel looks for a foul. Now the basket can't find either of them. Brooks gets the ball from McCauley. Shot for three falls just a bit short.
Just a little short, but a great look for Brooks and a really good shot opportunity. High percentage look, and he took it.
Ball goes power away as we get a further miscommunication by the Vipers as they're really settling into this season here, and you can see it in this game. I mean, that first quarter start and now really competitive and coming out and finding their identity as a basketball team, wouldn't you say, Taylor?
Yeah, I'm very happy to see how this game progressed along. It's gotten a lot tighter than we would have thought it would be at this point in the game. But both teams really settling in nicely. We're getting to see a bit more. We're getting to learn a bit more about the Vipers, but also getting to see a strong power squad this afternoon.
Stanford with the ball here around the perimeter. A little quick bounce pass to Hinton. And I don't think Zachary Hinton knew that one was coming his way.
Off the foot of a Valley Viper by the looks of it, though, and the Power at least retained possession. KB Myers will enter this game now as Jordan Holness will take a seat.
Holness, Berryman, Tremblay, and Rempel on the bench there for the Vipers. Myrick's with the responsibility of inbounding, stripped away there.
Poor inbound pass there from KB Myrick's, giving it right to the Valley Vipers to go up the court with it.
That was Jabril who stole it away. And now he's underneath the basket, dishes the ball out for a corner three. Shot no good. Hinton, Brooks back to Hinton. Off the glass and in. Look at that team chemistry coming to fruition there.
Great dish by DeKel Brooks there on the fast break. Finished off by Zach Hinton. Gotta love a fast break like that with the two sharing the ball and getting that easy two-point layup.
An absolutely dizzying array of Du Bois coming through there as that mid-range jumper just falls short off that front iron. Myrick's with the ball here inside the key, looking to do something, goes to Hinton. Hinton to Brooks. Shot falls a bit long and left on that one as we're just a minute over our halfway mark in this second quarter. Rumbling and stumbling his way inside. It's Jabril for two. I'm sure he was making that tss, tss, tss noise as he was running there. With the speed, McCauley looks to do something on the pump fake, and now the fadeaway hits the two.
Beautiful fadeaway there by Jack McCauley. McCauley looking good so far in this game. Make him 1 for 1 from 2-point, 2 for 5 from 3. 8 points in total today on the game so far.
One word, textbook fadeaway jumper there by McCauley. Brewer with the ball now for the Vipers, guarded by Hinton. Looks to do something, goes to the baseline. Shot no good there by Moss. Brooks with it in the key. Shot no good. On the cleanup though, goes to the Vipers. What a long, high-arcing pass into the lap of Jabril. From the baseline, Moss can't find a basket, but does find those crucial 2 free throws.
Vipers go to the line here. 6-point game currently. They'll look to narrow it down to 4 as they've done really good so far to keep fighting their way back into this game and keep it nice and close. See Alec Berryman checking back into this game as DeKel Brooks will go and take a seat.
Moss doesn't make that shot there. See what he can do on his last attempt. Mike Anderson on the big screen jumbotron here at the Eastlink Center and getting a nice applause from the fans in attendance. That shot by Moss, no good. McCauley goes down deep to Stanford, who steps on the baseline.
These kids look to be braiding his hair down there for him on the bench.
Yeah. He didn't step along the baseline. He was fouled there, actually. Damon Garrett comes up with that foul, and the second foul in this quarter by the Vipers. Myrick's goes up for 2, no good.
Vipers moving quickly down the court.
In transition, a charge called on the Vipers.
Beautiful job there by Alec Berryman to draw in the charge and get his team back possession of the ball, and they're on a quick break.
Shot no good there. Berryman, you can hear him hit the floor, but he's up quickly. And on the cleanup, Damon Garrett hits that two-pointer and swats the ball away as it was falling down. So wholeness and some power. Have some words for him. Myrick's with the ball here. Berryman, wide open three, just doesn't hit it though.
A little too much mustard on that one. Graham missing the basket by a little bit.
Corner three, shot no good. A little in and out action there as a 4-point lead by the Power becomes stationary as we're in a bit of a standstill on baskets. Big block there by Garrett, gets a little physical at the end, and Stanford goes down hard, looking to restrain himself. I can't tell if it's from anger or energy.
Hitting with a nice dish there anyway, getting the ball to Stanford. Now Stanford go to the line, shoot for two. Stanford been quietly one of the good players the Power have had on the court today. Now with 6 points, he'll look to shoot his first 3 free throws of the day.
Nothing going right for Stanford this weekend. I mean, we talked about how he's shooting just a little bit cold, an unfortunate start to the season really. And now, speaking of nothing going right, it's his left side that's hurting. He's been clutching his left hand since he went down there, and it was his left ankle last night that was rolled. So really, like I said, nothing right, pun intended.
Going for Adam Stanford there, guys. He's last 2 games succumbed to a few injuries, but been battling through nonetheless and doing a fairly good job at battling through. We look at some of our good key players today. KV Marks through 4 games now this season, averaging 19.9 points. Zach Hinton, 25.3 through the 4 games. And Jack McCauley yesterday, as we talked earlier, 4 for 9 from 3-point range. On the Vipers side, number 15, Damon Garrett. They've only played 1 game so far this year, but in that 1 game for the Vipers, Garrett led the way with 29 points, and he's already been one of the crucial members of this team today, going 4 for 5 from free throw line. He's got 7 points in total on the day, just 1 for 5 from 3-point range.
Stanford gets ready to take his shots as he has a couple words with the referees there. Still kind of clutching that left hand there. Typically you see that if wrist was hurt a little bit there, but don't want to speculate too much further as he readies up for some free throws. Stanford in full form there as he drains his first one.
Give him 7 points on the day now as he bumps up his team's lead to 44-39.
And makes the second one as well, make it 45-39.
8 points now for Stanford as he is settling in nicely and starting to slowly work his way to a great game.
5 minutes left here in the second quarter. Ball stripped away by Hinton. Tipped, rolled by KV, and taken out of bounds by the Vipers. So Power get the ball there. It was first going to be a backcourt violation, but then called a tip off of Hinton. So
an incredible hustle play there by the Power. Jabril just not able to hold on to that ball as it ends up going from midcourt all the way down to the Storm logo at the end at the Viper end of the court, and it'll now be Power basketball.
From one end to another, the Power look to do something.
Stanford gets ready to inbound.
As this is the slowest transition I think I've ever seen. Hinton cleans up the basket for 2.
Zach Hinton having a great game today as well, only missing 1 shot so far from inside the paint.
Ejimeng basket called off. And a foul called on the Vipers. I believe it was Frank Ajamang. Nope, that foul actually on Zach Hinton of the Power.
That foul will lead Zach into the bench once again. Jack McCauley checking in for him. Hinton now with 3 fouls on the day. Coach Lonnie State's making sure he doesn't get into too much foul trouble before we're even halfway through this game.
Basket made there by the Vipers, also in foul trouble. Damon Garrett, number 15. Look out for him as he's got 3 as well. Holness goes over to Stanford. Stanford with some swift moves goes to Myrick's, and a backcourt violation now on the Power. Myrick's thought that ball was tipped, but alas, it was not. It's 4 minutes and 20 seconds left on the board. Valley get the ball here, down 6. 4 fouls for the Valley Vipers and 2 for the Charlottetown Power. If you're just joining us, folks, I'm Grant Harrison. That's Taylor Stewart. Charlottetown Power wearing white with purple numbers, and the Valley Vipers black numbers and red jerseys. Funny story about the Valley Vipers jerseys, actually their practice jerseys are red on the outside and reversible with white on the inside, but someone on the Vipers staff must have washed them with hot water, because I saw on their team page the insides of the jerseys were now pink at Valley for their practices. Mid-range jumper there, shot no good as 10 seconds left on the shot clock, kept alive by the Vipers, but falls into the lap of the Power. Stanford with it here, coming from Berryman. And the express airmail goes out of bounds. So Valley will get the ball here. Pardon me, I haven't called the correct out of bounds all day. It's power ball.
43 for the Vipers. Ajamang checking out. In for the Vipers, number 25, Ryan Gates. Also leaving will be Jabril. And in at number 32, Donnie Moss.
Long pass there. Does find KV as he goes up for 2. Can't find it.
KV trying to put just a little too much into that low percentage look instead of moving the ball out around the arc.
Alex Muse bounce pass to Brewer. And Brewer goes up, comes down with a 2-pointer. 4-point lead for the Power as Holness goes over to Berryman. Alec Berryman looking to maneuver some magic as Stanford dishes it over to Myrick's. Adam Stanford gets it back off a foot and into the lap of the Holness. McCauley goes up for 3, can't find it. And Brooks, not Brooks, pardon me, Stanford can't pull it down, so Valley get the ball back. Goes to McCoo. Trey McCoo with a long and high arcing pass to Alec Muse. And Alex
So basket no good, but he will be going to the line to shoot for 3.
Yeah, I thought they would count that.
It was pretty dang close. 3:16 left on the clock. And looking at the scoreboard now, the basket does count. He's shooting 1. 47-46, this for the tie.
I was just as confused as the scorekeeper there, but luckily we get that figured out. And 1 attempt by Alex Muse. Good.
This game is all squared up at 47s.
Might head into halftime here. Of course, 3 minutes, 16 left. A lot of basketball left to be played, but might be going into halftime at a 0-0 basketball game. Is how you got to look at it. Myrick's will take this one up the court for the Power. One can only imagine what Lonnie's going to say in this locker room here after being up by 16 and now tied.
Definitely going to want his team to buckle down and get back to work the way they were in that opening quarter.
Myrick's from the free throw line goes to Brooks. Over to Stanford. Dunk, no good. Just gets denied by the rim and nobody else on the cleanup. Surrounded by 4 Vipers. Stanford can't pull it down, and Muse will take it up the court for the Valley.
Stanford obviously upset with himself, A, not being able to throw that first shot down, and B, missing the rebound layup.
Off the screen, Muse's shot no good, and Brooks does find the 2-pointer. Power up by 2.
Give DeKal Brooks 10 points now in this game.
Muse again here, guarded by Brooks. Quick dish pass. No good. He's bodied though. makes some contact with Adam Stanford. Stanford comes up with a foul after making some contact with Anthony Jr. Otley. Otley will go to the line for 2. As the crowd here at the Eastlink Center takes in the replay there on the board. And no general consensus as to if it was a good call or a bad call. Either way, Otley can't make his first shot. 2:21 left here in the first half. Otley does make his second shot there. That'll help him out, though, and bring it within 1. Myrick's up the court for the Power. KV with a roll past Brooks. Goes to him. Brooks goes up for 2 and finds it.
12 points now on the day for DeKel Brooks as the UPEI Panther alumni is showing out today and making easy work in the paint.
Muse to Otley. Otley trying to maneuver past McCauley. Can't find it. Myrick's comes up with it and finds the 2.
Nice fast break taken advantage of there by KV Myrick's as he takes himself end to end and with a nice finger roll lay-in to finish it off.
Timeout here, I believe, taken by the Vipers after that last basket, putting the Power up by 5. 1:47 left here in the first quarter. Taylor, what have you seen so far?
What I've seen so far is the Vipers have not only had a nice comeback, but are starting to play a bit more in themselves. You can see their head coach obviously couldn't have been happy with that start, but seeing his team sell in this way, now a 5-point game. They've had 1 lead so far. Game's been within 1 or 2, only within 5 right now. So the Vipers done a nice job to really get themselves back into this game, not dying out, not giving up after being down early, still drawing fouls, still making nice work of that inside the paint. And they've been doing a really good job on the offensive rebounding side as well. We got to give them credit to beating the Power inside the paint sometimes to collect those offensive rebounds. But you also look at the Power side, their offense has been rolling. Even though they're not leading by probably as many as they would like to be, they haven't really slowed down. They haven't really gotten out of themselves. There's been a few looks they've taken that weren't too high percentage, but most of the time they're moving the ball around well enough, and they're finding those good high percentage looks and draining those buckets.
You said not enough mustard on a shot earlier in the broadcast here, Taylor. What are you putting on your hot dogs there?
Oh, yeah, you got to love the mustard. Got to love the ketchup. Onion, obviously.
Your mustard and ketchup guy?
Mustard, ketchup, onion. Got to go loaded up the hot dogs. Even some cheese sprinkled on there if you got some shredded cheddar around.
Shredded cheddar on a dog, that might just be revolutionary.
I used to have friends who would crush up Lay's potato chips and sprinkle that on top of his hot dog.
These are some new ideas I've never heard of.
No, yeah,
I think Doritos would be good on a hot dog.
A little bit of zesty cheese there. What?
Yeah. As we get back to action here, 1:44 left in the second quarter. Muse has the ball for the Valley Vipers. If you're just joining us, I'm Grant Harrison. That's Taylor Stewart. Valley in red, Charlottetown Power in white. Mid-range jumper there by Moss. No good. Ball falls out of bounds off a Charlottetown Power and goes the way of the Viper.
The way of the Viper.
I love it.
That's going to be the next Karate Kid movie, eh?
I believe so. I believe it's in the works. From the key. Goes up for an awkward jumper. Doesn't find it. Muse on the cleanup. Gets a bit physical. Let's go. Before he's called for a foul. And a whistle. Blows it dead. McCauley and McCoo were battling there on the court. McCauley for the Power, McCoo for the Vipers. And McCauley is called for a foul. And some talking underway as this game is starting to get a bit chippy. And we'll go for a stack on the inbound. In the corner, Myrick's takes the stack well and instantly on his man. Berryman fouls there as he makes some arm contact on Anthony Jr. Otley. Otley will go to the line for another 2 free throws.
I will say so far that one thing I have really enjoyed, looking at that Viper logo. I'd say out of the teams I've seen coming through this league so far, Valley Vipers got to be probably near the top of the league. Charlottetown Power logo, gotta love the home logo as well. Powers is solid, but I really like the snake wrapped around those 2 V's.
Power is solid. We mentioned on our first broadcast, you don't see the purple and green too often. The old Milwaukee Bucks uniforms did have that combination. It's solid. I'm wearing the purple socks and green Nike Air Forces today here. Taylor's got on some purple socks as well. But, yeah, we're kind of leaning into the color combo here. You got your little purple in your shirt there as well. Those shots made by the Vipers, and it's a 3-point game here with 1:08 left.
Hopefully once the league gets settled in and starts to become more popular here after this season going into the second, they'll be able to get some new jerseys for some of these teams and get the artistic creations going.
Oh, yeah. Very interesting to see what's in store for the ECBL and what's in store for this mid-range jumper from Brooks. No good. Berryman to Myricks. Along the baseline, some contact made. Brooks gets another opportunity on the reverse layup. No good. Got a little too fancy with it. Moss there. Gets out of trouble, and Muse with a long three-pointer at 30 seconds left here in this first half. Myricks for the Power here. Game all tied up. Has to worry about the shot clock as he's got 10 seconds left. Hits the rim there, and the Vipers get the ball. Shot clock will go off, and 8 seconds left. As Moss has the ball here, he'll put the team on his back and hits it off the glass for 2. Bank shot as time expires here in the first half. What a feat of athleticism there. And before we sign off for halftime and come back to you in about 15 minutes, you mentioned the logos. I actually thought it was an apple in the mouth of the Viper on the Valley Vipers logo there, because of course Annapolis Valley known for their apple growing, apple orchards. So yeah. I thought that's what it was, but now as I see it expanded on the Jumbotron before me, I see that it is a basketball, which is a nice play.
Yeah, exactly. Very nice.
Yeah. All right, we'll sign off here for halftime. Leave you to the sounds of our halftime enjoyment, as I believe we have another youth basketball team here to take the court. And we'll be back here in about 14 minutes.
Ramona, who are some of the... We should be watching for Luke. I think that's Luke who's got the ball now. Tremendous, epic, big shot. All right, trying to get some help here today. He's not issued a Wildcat program here. Andy's got the ball now. Anderson's got the ball now. He's ready for a pass. Wyatt. Wyatt's covered. He's trying to get a shot away. All right, so he heads to the ball. Passes it to Mary. So Mary gets down the guard. Oh, Ding again. This guy's a little swiper. No swiper. Oh, so close. Good point here. Oh, a nice pass. Oh, good try. Anthony, looks like. Wyatt's at the ball. He's looking for something. Now, oh, good point to Allen. It's a lot harder when you're a little bit shorter, folks. Big point here for Eastland Center. Halftime excitement at Power Basketball. And if you get a chance, join our Facebook group, Charlottetown Power Basketball, for all the latest updates on Charlottetown Power. This is the Charlottetown Power fan page too. If you're on Facebook, join those groups for the latest updates. Also close. Box office.
As we come back from halftime, folks, thank you for sticking around. I'm Grant Harrison, that's Taylor Stewart, and this is ECBL basketball coming to you from the friendly confines of the East Link Center here in downtown Charlottetown. If you're just joining us, remember, that was a very interesting first and second quarter, two very different quarters of basketball. The first one, if I had to put it into one word, greasy. The second one, heavenly. The first one, the Power ran off with it, had a 16-point lead at one point, and now the Valley Vipers lead by 2 here coming into the second half as we get ready to start the third quarter. Taylor, what did you see in that first half?
I saw good basketball from both sides. Obviously, the Power not in the position they were hoping to be right now, down by 2 to the Valley Vipers after opening this game with a 17-1 lead. So definitely not what they're hoping to have going for them right now. But the Vipers, give them credit. They took advantage of their free throws, and the Power took advantage of some good-looking shots. So both teams with some left to prove here in the second half.
Jabril teaming up, mistimed on a what would have been beautiful alley-oop with Ajamang, but no luck there. As Holness has the ball for the Power, teaming up with Myrix here. See what he can do as he's working his way inside the key. No luck. Ajamang on the rebound, guarded here by McCauley, goes up and finds a two-pointer. Kel Brooks for the Power. Goes over to McCauley, who finds Myrix. Hinton for a deep three, no good.
It's his first miss from 3, first opportunity he's had from 3 today. Zach Hinton after going 3 for 3 yesterday. First miss from beyond the arc today.
So technically the first miss in 2 days from the three-point line. As Brooks is making his way up the court, he catches a foul.
Big steal there by DeKal Brooks in his defensive territory. Takes it up, and it'll still be Power basketball after he gets fouled moving up the court.
That foul, I believe, on Damon Garrett of the Vipers. Of course, maybe incorrect there. McCauley round the perimeter, goes to Brooks. Brooks with a two-pointer there and a long two-pointer.
Deep 2 from Brooks. He's been one of their most clutch shooters today, as he is now 50% from the floor.
They'll call it for 3. That one for 2, though, from Brewer, and I know it's for 2. A Holness with a pick and roll over to Brooks. DeKal Brooks for 2, no good. Trey McCoo on the rebound. Quick bounce pass there. Euro stepping inside. Can't find the first attempt nor the second attempt. Garrett unlucky there as a 3-ball falls short for the Vipers. See what he can do from the key as a mid-range jumper. No good.
DeKal Brooks getting fouled hard there as he went up for the rebound and kind of got tore down by number 15, Damon Garrett there of the Vipers.
And a handful of missed baskets by the Vipers. I mean, the Power are just down 3 here as we fall just under 10 minutes left to go in the third quarter.
Power will be taking it up, looking to get something going as they trail by 3. They'll want to start cooking here, get the lead back, and start playing Power basketball.
Brooks to Myrix, now Holness. Back to Brooks, making his way inside, hits it for 2.
DeKal Brooks has been stepping up in a huge way today for the Power as he is now shooting over 50%, and give him a 17 on the game, leading the way for the Power.
At the baseline, Ajamang. No good, and Power ball. Frank Ajamang been making his presence known today. I'd even add Trey Brewer and Jabril into that conversation. Even Otley from the free throw line.
Jabril may only have 4 points in this game so far for the Vipers, but he's been one of the most impactful players on that court for them today.
Hinton inside, fadeaway jumper for 2. Hits it and the Power have the lead by 1.
Big shot there by Hinton to get his team back to lead, as he has been the steady hand for them this season.
Muse, beautiful bounce pass to Brewer, who makes his jumper for 2. And we have a heavyweight bout of back to forth basketball coming your way. Myrick's letting that one hang there.
As Charlottetown driving park announcer Vance Cameron would say, we have a bit of a brouhaha on our hands here in the third quarter.
Always love the brouhaha, the kerfuffle, the absolute whimsical world of competitive basketball coming your way, professional basketball at that. Back in the Maritimes, and Myrick's doesn't make his free throw there. We talked to president of the league, Tim Kendrick, better known as Coach K around the Maritimes, yesterday, and he said it's so great to see professional basketball being back here, and even better to see the kids enjoying the game of basketball and enjoying shots like that from Zach Hinton for 2 as the cleanup successful for the Power. Brooks guards heavily there for the Power. Holness guards Jabril heavily, but a wide open corner three-pointer. Good there by Trey McCoo. Holness taking it up the court for the Power. Goes to Brooks. Brooks running that hedge inside. Finds it for 2 to tie it up here at 64 apiece. Ajamang goes to the baseline. And his teammate, Garrett, can't find that 2-pointer. Brooks looked like he broke a set of ankles there of McCoo, but it is a foul.
DeCal Brooks for the Power from UPEI, as we've mentioned multiple times, but it's nice to see someone who was so good for the Panthers now having a great game, his best game of this season so far, as it is DeCal Brooks' world right now, Grant, and they are just living in it down there on the court.
19 points for Brooks. The only one even close to him is Hinton with 16 as he catches his first foul there. Look at that air by Jabril. What a shot there as he jumped from about halfway from the free throw line and just kept it there. Could have gone a bit further. That shot could have gone a bit shorter. As Myrick's off the back rim, then the front rim, and out. Muse here for the Vipers. Another wide open 3. That shot no good though. Holness goes to Brooks after the rebound. Just shy of halfway to go here in this third quarter as we've played quickly here. And Holness keeps the clock moving after his shot missed. There, Muse. Go ahead, Taylor.
Power need to slow this game down a bit right now. That's a couple missed threes in a row. Need to slow things down, really get into the groove here with the Vipers.
Both teams have missed consecutive threes now after that miss by Brewer. Scrambled ball along the court, and that thing will slow things down as Zach Hinton makes another three-pointer. The big man from the perimeter.
In with his first 3 of the game, making him now 3 for 5 over these, or 4 for 6, over these past 2 games as he finds his groove from behind the arc.
Couple shots no good there, and the cleanup by McCoo does find some success. Vipers still leading by 1 here.
Another great job of offensive rebounding there by the Vipers to stake their claim inside the paint on that offensive end.
DeCal Brooks, little inside, hits it for 2.
DeCal Brooks now over the 20-point threshold, 21 through the third quarter here for DeCal Brooks.
Jabril working past Myrick's and a big screen by, let's see who that is. Number 25, Ryan Gates for the Vipers. Catches a foul. The Power will get the ball back, up 1 on the Vipers. DeKal Brooks again with his 23rd point of the night. I don't know if that pass was intentional, but it was beautiful all the way. A shot no good though. Berryman take this one up the court for Charlottetown. A replica jumper there, no good. Down along the baseline, Stanford finds it for 2.
Stanford now on the board, double digits with 10 points as he's shooting 42% today. 50% now, sorry, from the floor. 50% is Adam Stanford. 55% if you look at DeKal Brooks, as he is still just on an unbelievable roll today.
Otley with the low bounce pass there. That one's going to hurt the Vipers, as Ryan Gates just couldn't find a handle on it, and the ball trickles out of bounds. So Power get the ball back here with 4:54 left to go here.
We look at the Power lineup right now. Taking up the court is DeKal Brooks, Jordan Holness, Adam Stanford, Zach Hinton, and Alec Berryman round out the court for the Power today.
Brooks moving past Moss, goes to Hinton instead. Tries to keep it alive, no good though.
On the Viper side of things, 32, Donnie Moss in there. Number 16, Anthony Otley Jr. We have number 36, Alex Muse.
The
And
Music Man.
inbounding it was number 12, Trey McCoo, and rounded out 25, Ryan Gates.
Ball goes out of bounds there, off Power. It'll be Valley ball. Muse on the inbound. Goes over top to Moss. Ball works its way around the perimeter. Back to Muse, who inside finds it for 2. Hinton in transition. Gets it for 2 inside the key.
And that'll put Hinton over the 20-point threshold now, as he's got 21 on the day, as he is shooting 81%.
Nobody has yet to catch DeKal Brooks, though. That shot falls short. See if he can regain some control inside. No. And who but the man himself, DeKal Brooks, has possession. Making his way in, teams up with Hinton, goes over to Holness. Stanford gets the ball stripped away by Valley. Hinton diving for it there, can't find it. And a shot off the glass and in by McCoo.
Making it a 3-point game, 75-72 is the Power lead with just under 3.5 to go here in the third.
Holness here around the sideline, goes to Stanford on the pick and roll. Guarded by McCoo, goes up for a jumper, off the back rim and no good. Power lead by 3. McCoo inside. Shot off the top right corner of the board. And gets fouled along his way in. Adam Stanford collects his 3rd foul of the day there. McCauley and Hinton both sitting at 3 fouls apiece as well. In foul trouble, Damon Garrett has 4 for the Vipers. Timeout taken here. 3 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. A game of 3s. Let's talk about Zach Hinton, who had a great game yesterday. Only 2 for 2. Only took those 2 shots, but drained them. Showed confidence on every single one, and drained one more here today. What else have you seen from Zach Hinton besides 21 points?
Coming from Zach Hinton right now, the power forward, I've just seen a guy who's running the floor, who is really taking charge, and definitely probably one of the crucial leaders the Power have right now. So he's gone 8 for 10 from inside the paint, 1 for 2 from beyond the arc, but he's 2 for 2 from the free throw line. Gotta like to his assists, got 2 assists. He's come up with 7 offensive rebounds, 7 defensive rebounds, 14 rebounds now, as the man is in double digits, and he's shooting 75%, Grant. Not many times do you see a player shooting not only over 50%, but he's at 75% today in the game, which is an incredible number from Hinton. Definitely the leader of the Power right now, and doing an excellent job early in this season to stake his claim, make his name known in the ECBL.
As you mentioned, the double-double. Let's take a minute to talk about Trey Brewer, though, for the Vipers. 18 points, 5 defensive rebounds, no offensive rebounds yet, but he's been absolutely stellar today. Keeping it clean, too, with 2 fouls and 2 assists. So team player all around, just making some great plays and some crucial plays on defense as he's collecting those missed shots. And speaking of missed shots, there by Trey McCoo, his first free throw attempt, no good.
As you were talking about Trey Brewer there as well, 3 for 5 from beyond the arc. 18 points is a big one for the Vipers today, as he is leading Viper scoring with that 18. Not to be missed is 12 points getting in from Anthony Otley Jr., but he's only shooting 33%. He definitely wouldn't be too happy with those numbers. He's going to want to improve that shooting percentage and going to want to help his team get back from this 3-point deficit they're facing right now.
That second shot by McCoo, no good, as Holness collects it. Ball taken up the court by the Power. Holness going up for 2, no good with the body.
He'll get to shoot 2 now.
As you mentioned there, Taylor, 2 free throw attempts. As we go back to the stat sheet, 75% from the field. Underrated in my books, Mr. Alex Muse. He's only taken 4 shots from the field, but he's 2 for 3 on the free throw, on the 3-pointers, I should say, and 1 for 1 on the 2-pointers. So great off the bench and just a solid all-around player there for the Vipers. But going back to the Power there, Holness makes his first free throw, gives a 4-point lead for the Vipers.
Getting ready to check into this game is KV Myrick, who's definitely not having a terrible game, but definitely going to be wanting to improve on his numbers.
As we see KV Myrick getting ready next to the Taco Boys sign there, we'd like to thank the following sponsors for their support. Please support those who support us. Murphy's Community Pharmacy, Canada's Best Value Inn, and the Uptown Lounge, where on those screens you can find some great basketball like this and like that shot from Ajamang. Myrick's here for the Power. Goes to McCauley. Hinton. Now around the perimeter, working in. Oh my goodness! And the crowd loves it after Hinton broke some ankles and hits the board. And a response there by the Vipers. I don't know if that'll help him. Look at Stanford, wide open, hits the 2.
Quick fast break done there by Adam Stanford as he gives himself 12 points now in the day, not taking any time there, making sure he gets that layup to fall.
2 quick baskets by the Vipers, coming in handy as they'll look to do something here. Ball stripped away by Myrick, though, and it's Hinton again off the glass, and the reverse layup is good for 2.
With that basket, Hinton now takes the lead in scoring for the Power with 25 points on the day as he is just on a tear in this third quarter.
Muse here for the Vipers around the perimeter looking for some help. Ball comes back to him. Shot up and good by Muse there with 7 on the shot clock. That 3-pointer good for the Vipers. 1:18 left here in the third. Brooks goes to Stanford. Stanford now to McCauley. McCauley to Myrick. Myrick around the hedge, goes to McCauley again. Goes up for the mid-range jumper and nothing but net.
Jack McCauley with a clutch 2-point throw up there. Nice to see that one falling down for the Island native as he gives now 10 points on the game.
Muse goes up for another 3 and hits it. Look at that one as it's within 3 and the Power lead.
A deep ball to get into the final minute of this third quarter. Tighten it up, 85-82. Power lead.
What a thrilling third quarter we've seen. McCauley to Brooks for 3 off the rim, no good. 30 seconds left. Muse inside. See what the Vipers can do here off the glass and the reverse. Otley hits it.
1-point game now, 85-84. Power lead as Myrick slowly taking his time as this will be the last possession of the half.
KV the Minister Myrick's 6 seconds left. He won't let it go out unheard of, though. Off the glass, no good. That buzzer beater shot late by Muse means we go into the fourth quarter and the final quarter. Maybe we might even have some overtime on our hands today. 85-84 Charlottetown Power. Taylor, what a third quarter we saw there. What an ending we saw there.
Yeah, the Power definitely still not going to be too thrilled, only leading by one, but leading nonetheless is what they wanted to have going out of this third quarter. 85-84. States, head coach Lonnie States of the Power, I'm sure just going to be driving into his players that this is time to take it home in front of the home court, make it 2 for 3 on the weekend, make yourselves the second place team overall in the league right now, and that's just going to be the key to driving home here in the fourth quarter for the Power. Keep dishing it to the hot hand. Zach Hinton not making many mistakes today. 25 points, 78% from shooting range. That is incredible numbers, as he also has 8 defensive rebounds, 7 offensive rebounds. He's the double-double man today for the Power, but can't be overshadowed as DeKel Brooks, who is shooting 52.3% with 23 points. The best game by far so far this season for the former UPEI Panther. Those two so far in this game are going to be the key to driving this one home. Keep finding them, keep letting them roll and do their thing, as they have been unstoppable forces today for the Power.
If you separate the statistics of rebounds into offensive and defensive, Zach Hinton could be in for a triple-double at that. He has 7 offensive rebounds and 8 defensive rebounds. This guy's been all over the court, coast to coast, simply put, a threat as Trey Brewer for the Vipers on the come-up today. 18 points there, shooting only 50%, but some of those coming from the three-point line. 3 three-pointers made out of 5 attempts and 4 two-pointers made from the field after 9 attempts. As for rebounds, he's at 5 total rebounds, all of those coming from the defensive zone as we talked about earlier, but still a crucial force and a crucial role being played there by the Vipers.
As we look now to the Power, the third quarter coming to an end, the break about to come to an end. They're starting out this fourth and final quarter trying to take home this 1-point lead. We have number 40, Jack McCauley, 5, Adam Stanford, 1, KV Myrick's 42, Zach Hinton, and rounding it out the hot hand, as we mentioned, the former Panther, number 22, DeKel Brooks.
Number 22, DeKel, surpassing his jersey number in points tonight as he's got 23. Remind you of someone there, that number 23, Taylor? I don't know. Could take the long way to the show that is the NBA. Don't want to jinx his career, of course, already, but fun to speculate. Fun to speculate indeed. As we get the fourth quarter started here, Jack McCauley goes to Brooks. Brooks round the arc goes to Stanford. Stanford inside now. Adam to Hinton. Hinton hits it for 2. That'll put him to 27 points on the evening.
87-84 game now, as they would love to get a few stops here early on in this fourth to start trying to run away with this game and kind of take over before it gets too late.
Ajamang goes inside, down deep. Otley finds it for 2. So Myrick's for the Power here. Guarded, but still inside. Shot goes over the basket, no good as Muse gets the rebound. Ajamang hits it off the laces of the left foot of McCauley, and Brooks goes up for 2. Teaming up with Stanford, no good.
He'll go up and shoot 2 now as Adam Stanford after getting denied against the glass there, but a bit of contact, not a clean block. So Adam Stanford will get the chance to make it 14 for himself. Sitting at 12 now. He'll look to make it 14 on the day.
Talk about stoic here. I just want to talk about head coach for the Power, Lonnie States. Just cool as a cucumber there on the sideline and just leading his team so well today as they've taken a tactical opponent, I'll call the Vipers, and really just ran with them all day, not knowing what to expect coming into this Sunday matchup, but facing adversity very well, wouldn't you say, Taylor?
Yeah, and I honestly gotta commend the Vipers here right now too. After going 0 for 1, losing by 30 in their opening game to the Tide, and now coming in here after being off for a while in your second game of the season and hanging in there with the Power. Excellent job by the Vipers to show that they can compete in this league too.
Shot up and good by the Valley there to tie us up at 88 apiece. Brooks with the ball here. Making his way in, passes the ball out to Stanford, who was wide open but couldn't hit it as that shot just falls short. Muse now for the Valley, guarded by Myricks. Working his way in, it's Otley who can't find it either. Ball recovered though, as Muse will go up for 3 and hits it.
Just not aggressive enough for the Power on that glass to get the defensive rebound, as they give up another offensive rebound and they pay for it as Muse buries the 3.
Hinton with 3.
Zach Hinton coming up with a clutch 3-pointer all the way from Cherry Valley.
Talk about bewilderment as Zach Hinton hits the 30-point mark. A mid-range there, that one cleanly put away by Brewer. Oh, classic song being played here.
Shout out to DJ Brady up top.
A travel by Brooks there. An unfortunate call, as we'll leave you just to the sounds of basketball here for just a little bit and put you inside the stands. Ajamang. Hinton, no good. And a charge there as things are starting to heat up. Mean Power take control.
Jordan Holness now inbounding the ball for the Power as he came and checked in for Jack McCauley. Power trailing by 4, looking to get something going here as Holness has the ball outside the arc.
Trailing by 4, but have yet to register a foul. See what Brooks can do. No good. Stanford on the cleanup. Puts it away for 2.
Stanford with a nice steal there, hanging with it off the offensive glass. Gives him 15 points now in the day.
Having the lead of the Vipers. Valley looks to respond as that ball rolled out of bounds. And a substitution made for the Vipers. Trey McCoo checking into the game for Damon Garrett. 8:27 left to go. Charlottetown Power wearing white jerseys. The Valley Vipers in red. I'm Grant Harrison. That's Taylor Stewart sitting next to me. Vipers looking to do something. 3-pointer. Good, as 5 seconds were on the shot clock there as Otley drains that 3-pointer.
Make it a 5-point lead now for the Vipers as they're just saying, anything you can do, I can do better, Power.
Holness goes to Hinton. Stanford outside Myricks. Holness makes his way inside as well. Stanford can't find it either.
There's not quite enough on that to get it on the layup there.
Deep 3, shot falls short. Muse goes for 3 now. That shot falls short. Muse goes up for a corner 3 and takes the shorter basket, but still the equal opportunity basket for 3-pointer there as the Vipers are at 101. Of course, this being their second game, this is the first time they've hit 100 points in the ECBL. Brooks going up for 2, can't find it. So Power in a bit of a shooting slump here, needing to respond with 7 minutes left here in the fourth. Ajamang hits it for
Ooh.
3.
Big 3 there to kind of put a dagger in the hearts of Power Faithful, as that will extend the lead on them. Now a 104-93 lead for the Vipers, as that 3 forces head coach Lonnie States to take a timeout, settle his guys down, and figure out what they need to do to get back into this game.
A domineering performance by the Vipers here in just the last handful of minutes. I mean, first quarter, who would have thought they'd be leading by 11 in this fourth quarter at 104-93? Would you think that at all, Taylor?
Nah, based off the start that happened there, 17-1, as we've mentioned a few times, to start this game was a Power lead. Now trailing by 11, and the 3 ball has been really killing them here down the stretch. We look at number 36 for the Vipers, Alex Muiz, 5 for 6 from beyond the arc. He's shooting 85.7% today. 18 points in total. Not to be overshadowed is Anthony Otley Jr. 26 points. He's been 3 for 5 from beyond the arc, 6 for 12 from 2-point range, and has missed all but 1 of his 6 free throws. He's made all but 1 of his 6 free throws, sorry.
Brooks and Hinton for the Power obviously had a great game today.
Yeah.
They are and should be proud of their performance here. But right now, you got to look to Stanford on the inside. Maybe even McCauley for a couple 3-pointers to put you back into this game. Hinton is worn down. Brooks is on the bench. At this point, you got to look to your guaranteed baskets. Maybe even Rempel, who just checked into this game, could put down a couple 3-pointers. McCauley's on the bench, though, and Holness has the ball here for the Power. Stanford inside, finds a lane, and is fouled. So we'll get 2 shots.
Stanford will go and shoot 2 there, looking to make it 17 in the day, sitting at 15 right now. He's having a better game than yesterday. Still not probably what he was looking for himself going into today, but these 2 crucial to make it a single-digit deficit. Go to 9 points here if he makes both.
That is McCoo's 3rd foul of the evening, and Stanford makes his first shot there to make it a 10-point lead for the Vipers. Makes his 2nd shot as well, and it's a single-digit lead for the Valley Vipers. Muse working past Holness. Goes up to Brewer. Fakes the fadeaway, goes to Ajamang.
Good rebounding there by KV Myricks. The point guard taking that one down.
Myricks to Rempel, now to Holness. Myricks goes to Stanford, who cleans it up for 2.
Big bucket there by Adam Stanford. Doing the right thing, too. He's got 19 on the day. You don't want to be just relying on a 3-point. Don't be taking difficult looks from 3-point range. If you can bury it in deep, chip away at this lead, and that's the way. You still got 6 minutes left on the clock. There's plenty of game left.
Back-to-back 2-pointers for Stanford, really helping out the Power. Of course, the first set came from free throws. The next one came from inside the key. A big collision there, as we can hear the bodies hit the floor all the way from up here.
Looks like the Vipers will be going to shoot 2, though, after all that.
KV Myricks, his 2nd foul of the evening. Jordan Holness and Logan Rempel, the only 2 foulless players in this matchup, including Vipers and Power. Trey McCoo taking his time to hold his ankle on the free throw line, as head coach Eric Perry for the Vipers comes to check it out, as well as the in-house trainer,
Devin Atkin.
And McCoo up. He won't be able to take his shots, though, so he'll grab a substitution to take his shots for him. Damon Garrett will be taking these shots. He's 4 for 5 on free throws today. But there won't be any shots. It'll just be an inbound.
It's going to be Power basketball.
Just like the infamous lottery in the United States, it's the Powerball.
104.97 is Jordan Honas will take the ball up here for the Power. Looks to get something going for his team.
Goes to Stanford, inside, cleans it up for two. Back to back to back. 2-pointers for Adam, the security guard, Stanford.
You know, Stanford not being able to find a three-point ball for himself today, but 8 for 12 from two-point range, 21 on the day, 53% shooting.
A deep ball there falls short by the Valley. Taylor clearly rooting for one team here.
Oh, no, you just got to call someone out when there's an air ball. Got to hit the net at least, eh?
Holness to Hinton. Zach fakes the pass over to Logan Rempel, and he'll go up for two. Finds it. Even though we thought he was tired, alas, he is not, as he hits 32 points to add to a very impressive night already. And the Power are within 3 with just under 5 minutes to go. Muse here sends the ball over to Brewer, who tries to work past Rempel along the baseline. Ajamang hits it for two.
106, 101 now, 5-point game, 4:40 left. Power still have plenty of time to get back in this. Vipers looking to hold on for their first win in the ECBL.
Holness guarded by Muse, taking his time as he runs past a couple screens, goes inside for two and hits it. Holness just surprisingly bodying his way inside for two, Taylor?
Not a guy you'd think that would be attacking the paint like that. Not someone we have seen attacking the paint so far this season too often. But nice to see him working his way in to get his team 2 points to narrow it down to a 3-point lead. And during this time out, if I'm head coach Lonnie States, I'm just telling my guys, defense, defense, defense. You have 4:24 left to play. You can't be giving up any more offensive rebounds. Anytime a shot goes up and it misses for the Vipers, you have to shut that down. You have to claim that ball off your own glass and get ready to go up the court and tie this thing up. 3-point deficit. Play solid defense and the offense will come. You're just worried about stopping the Vipers right now. If you're the Vipers, though, on the other hand, you're looking at doing what you've been doing, attacking the paint nicely, getting in there hard, grabbing those rebounds. And you want to keep hitting the shots you've had. They've had really good 3-point percentage success here in the second half. If they keep following that game flow, things keep going well for them, and they could be looking at their first W in the ECBL.
Speaking of Vipers, a lot of standout players here for the Valley. Most importantly, number 6, Trey Brewer, and number 16, Anthony Otley Jr., who has come off the bench and had an amazing game. Totaling 26 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists on the evening. An unheard statistic of a bench player so far in the ECBL, and I think he has earned himself a start in the Valley's next game. Wouldn't you say, Taylor?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely want to have that power in your starting lineup to get you going early on, but also, on the other hand, I can see where head coach Eric Perry is looking at having that kind of 6-man energy coming off the bench. When you have to sit one of your starters down and you can take advantage of some mismatches on defense potentially if the Power had sat their starters down, and all of a sudden you got a great bench player coming off, getting a mismatch, who's able to work his game to perfection.
Speaking of a bench player, here's Alex Muse, who's had a decent game today, passing the ball over to Ajamang. Along the baseline, the Power play physically, and it goes their way as Holness passes it over to Hinton. Hinton with a mid-range jumper drains it.
Zach Hinton with another clutch bucket. Give him 34 on the day as he makes it a 1-point game. And as I said, they came out of the break. Great steal on the defensive end to play solid defense and make sure that the Valley Vipers don't get a chance to extend that lead.
Bounce pass by Muse, almost broken up there. And clean up off the glass. Otley gets the Vipers out of there without being in too much trouble, as it's still a 3-point lead. 3:30 left to go here in the fourth quarter. Holness to Hinton. Hinton over to Stanford. Pick and roll to Brooks. Now Myrick's Brooks again. Back to KV. Shot falls short as he was rushed there, and that shot clock was expiring.
And a hand in his face there. Number 15, Damon Garrett, been playing a great defensive game for the Vipers. Got right in his face there and didn't allow Myrick's to have a very clean look at the bucket.
3:11 left to go. Just when you think somebody's out of this game, they're right back in it at the blink of an eye. And Brewer here has it for the Vipers, guarded by Brooks. No good there. Holness and McCoo battle for the rebound as the ball trickles out of bounds, and it's Valley ball.
Power be forced here to make another crucial stop in this game, keep it at a 3-point game and go up the other way and hopefully see yourself be able to make a basket and shorten this lead up from 3 to maybe 1 or even tied game.
You can see underneath the basket in the yellow hoodie is Mike Anderson, who has moved from the power bench to a standing position as he just can't contain himself. Watching this game as some time ticks away from the clock without a basket, and the Power get the ball back. KV will let this one roll.
A mismatch there for the Vipers in communication led to an error of a pass, and as you said, KV now with the ball.
So the clock begins. KV goes to Hinton. Hinton back to Myrick's. Myrick's to Hinton. Zachary hits it for 2.
Hinton is the man to get it to right now, as he is not letting his team go down without a fight. 1-point game now, 108-107. He's got 36.
Deep 3 by the Valley, no good. Inside the paint, let's see what they can do with Otley. Nothing. As it's stripped away and Holness bounce pass to Hinton, hits it for 2. What a day for Zach Hinton. 38 points on the board, 2 minutes left, and the Power rallying behind.
Retaking the lead, 109-108.
Inside, Valley hit one with the likes of Brewer. And Brooks has it here for the Power. Bounce pass there, falls short, so Muse will take over for the Vipers. Swatted away by Holness, but a bit too physical as it hits the arm. The Power are within 1 as they send a man to the free throw line.
Be Alex Muiz taking it up there to the free throw line. He'll go to the free throw line with a chance to make it an even bigger lead for the Vipers right now. It's 110-109 as we go into a timeout here. But Muiz, when he comes back, he'll be looking to make it potentially another 3-point game, a 3-point lead for the Vipers with 1:39 on the clock. Any lead right now is a good one, but not a safe one.
This timeout here being called, not going to be our last one of the game. Most certainly, as you mentioned there, Taylor, 1:39 left, and the Power need a comeback. It's not a big comeback, but it's still a 1-point comeback. That can be a tricky one as you're still not leading to wrap this game up, so you're not really all too comfortable. But as we've seen from the Power all game today, even when they're at their most uncomfortable, they're at their most successful.
Yeah, that's for sure. The Power, led by Zach Hinton right now, shooting 85% right now. And that is just incredible numbers. 38 points, a bucket short of hitting that 40 mark, and sits with 2 assists, 2 for 2 from free throw, 2 for 3 from 3-point, and 15 for 17 from 2-point. He's only missed 2 of 17 attempts.
If you had to pick one word to describe the Valley, what would you use here?
One word to describe the Valley, I put hungry right now. Hungry for that first win, hungry to prove that big loss that they took in their opening game to the Tide was not a true showing of their basketball capabilities. Getting a win today for the Vipers shows that they, not only does it put them with their first win in the ECBL, but it shows the rest of the league that hiccups can be had at the start of the season, and a hiccup is what that Tide loss would have been for the Vipers if they prove they can win today.
Muse makes his first shot. You know, just how I thought it was an apple in the mouth of the Viper there, as I was mentioning before halftime. These Vipers are hungry, like you said. So a very apt analysis there, Taylor, as Muse misses that shot. And Hinton will go to Myrick's and elect him to take it up the court for the Power. Going to Stanford, ball rolling around. Brooks collects it though, and Stanford will take it inside. Ball stripped away. Power maintained control here.
Power will get to inbound here as Adam Stanford will look to find somebody. They're only down by 2. Any bucket of any kind either gives them a tie or will lead. As Holness will come in now to check in for the inbound for her Stanford.
A painstaking day for both teams. Back and forth battle about to come to an end here. 1 minute, 20 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Power down 2 as the Vipers take control here with the inbound.
Bucket here for the Vipers would prove to be crucial coming down the stretch.
Muse hits that very crucial bucket. Indeed. Holness will have to pick it up here as he's pressed by Brewer. 1 minute exactly remaining here in the fourth as we get a foul on Trey Brewer. Trey Brewer been playing fairly cleanly today, only has 3 fouls after that one. And 22 points he has tallied. 3 players on the Valley Vipers have tallied over 20.
Takal Brooks has checked out of this game, and what a game it was for him. 23 points in total, 47.8% shooting. Incredible game for the former Panther.
Myrick's doesn't have it. Taking Brooks's place is Jack Moneyman McCauley. Brooks will actually check back into the game here. Question is, who will he sub in for?
Take out KV Myrick's.
KV Myrick's has had a great fundamental day today. 9 points on the board though. And in a race to the finish line like this, you just want a shooter in this game. Muse here for the Vipers. Round half court, guarded by Holness. Beats his man. Sends the bounce pass inside. And the Vipers maintain possession here.
32 seconds left even on the clock. 113, 109 Vipers. The Power need to get this ball back quickly and stop it right here.
2 quick baskets, and it is a game again.
Can't allow the Vipers to score right here, though.
Hinton stripped the ball away there and just broke up the timing of Ajamang. That could prove fruitful. We have a horn here, though, as a timeout is called by the Charlottetown Power. Who do you send the ball to, Taylor?
Looking at the stats right now and knowing what we know about this team, obviously Jack McCauley, a lethal three-point shooter when he gets in the right groove. KV Myers checked out. I'm looking at Zach Hinton or Jack McCauley probably for this play. Zach Hinton, 2 for 3 today, 3 for 3 yesterday beyond the arc. So obviously if he gets a clean look, he's reliable from beyond the arc. Jack McCauley, though, too, is just a three-point machine. Was 4 for 9 yesterday, 2 for 5 today. Obviously would have liked to have made 1 or 2 more of those shots, but Jack McCauley he was checked back in this final minute for a reason, and that's because he is a good three-point shooter. So you're looking at either getting the ball to Jack or I'd say Jack my option A, Zach option B.
And if you're the Valley, I'd say just give the ball right into the hands of Otley, as he is 5 for 6 on free throws today, and one can only expect a foul coming from the Power on a Valley player, whoever gets the ball, probably after this next possession.
Well, that's now 21.3 left on the clock. Shot clock is doesn't matter right now, basically. So what they're going to be looking at is fouling, as you said. You need to get the ball back. So you make a quick basket here, foul, hope they miss at least one, so it's still a one possession game.
If you're just tuning in, folks, fourth quarter action. Valley in red, Power in white. I'm Grant. That's Taylor. Brooks goes up for 2, no good. There's a jump ball. That ball will be going to the Valley.
not how they wanted that possession to go if you're a Power.
They were looking for the foul there. The very few times in this game that you look for a foul. Right there, Brooks thought he made enough contact.
Power going to be trying their hardest here to not let the Valley get a clean possession.
Muse gets it, and he is fouled. Muse 2 for 3 from the line.
Need a few more fouls before they're automatically sent to the line, though. They only have 3 right now.
Thanks for keeping me humble there, Taylor. I saw 5 on the board. The Valley are at 5 fouls, though. And Power now at 4 fouls.
Only chance I think the Power have to get back in this game right now is to get a steal here right off the inbound with needing 2 baskets.
Holness tips that ball out of bounds. And a hush falls over the Eastlink Center. They might just see their Power fall back-to-back losses. First yesterday against the Truro Tide. And now today against the Valley Vipers.
Valley's looking good right now. They're looking confident. They know exactly what they want to do to close this one out. Vipers have had a great game too. Being down 17-1 at the start of this game is not an easy thing to come back from. And looking how they battled back, now up 4 points, that's an excellent job by the Valley. Not only their players, their head coach to keep the team in it and awake after being down 17-1. And now you're 12.4 seconds away with possession from getting your first win in the ECBL after being off for multiple extra days than they were supposed to be, after falling by 30 points to the Tide in their opening game, defeating the Power today. Definitely a tired Power squad. 3 games in 3 days is not easy to do, but the Vipers very close to having a huge momentum builder after if they can hold on here and get their first win in the ECBL.
Much like yesterday, a lot of good to focus on for the Power after these 2 tough losses, but still a bright side at the end of that tunnel there, as we'd like to take this moment to thank the following sponsors. All-Star Cresting, where you can actually get all your ECBL gear for all teams in the ECBL, including the Valley Vipers and the Charlottetown Power. allstarcresting.ca. Go check them out, folks. We got you covered. Fast Signs, The Spa Total Fitness, Sunly Solar, Taco Boys, Papa John's Pizza, Game Changers Fitness, Dino's Pizza, and Hunter's Ale House. As we have a stoppage here called on a power foul. KV Myricks catching his 3rd foul of the evening.
9.8 left. And they'll send
fouls there.
number 6, Trey Brewer, to the line. Probably not the guy you wanted going to the line, as he is 22 points on the day. Only 1 for 2 from free throws, but oh, check that. Looks like there's no free throws.
Those FIBA rules tricky sometimes, as it's 6 for bonus, not 5. So now we'll get some shots here by Muse. Muse 2 for 3 on the day.
Chance to really put this one away, make it a 5-point lead now for the Vipers. 114-109 with 7 even on the clock.
Still a 2-possession game, though. I would try to put Logan Rempel into this game.
Jack McCauley on the bench, too.
Yeah, 3-point shooters are sitting down. And Brooks, his 3-pointer falls long.
Bit of an air ball again now in this game as DeKel Brooks sends that one long. 3.3 left on the clock.
Ball in the hands of Valley, just need a clean pass. And Power will let this one tick away. Holness will strip it away, though. I think we'll count it. See if he'll get the
Yeah, he's getting
added
the signal.
statistic. Yep, well, he does. He does count it. And that'll bring Holmes up to 10 points today as we wrap things up here after a tough 4-point loss for the Power. And hey there, Mr. Brightside, it's a 4-point win for the Valley Vipers, bringing them up to 1-1 on their season.
Huge W for the Valley Vipers, getting that first win in the ECBL. They got to be loving that, and that's going to be a fun drive home. This group will get to bond a bit more after picking up the first win and having some high spirits on that bus trip back to the Valley.
Exactly. The Valley Vipers only had 6 players in their opening game, so it's basically a new team that has secured this victory. And for you folks at home, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Grant Harrison. That's Taylor Stewart. We'll see you next time here on Universum Media YouTube page. Thank you for tuning in, folks, and we love you.